Hi everybody, Steve Olson, WSO, just checking out some stuff here, and wow, check out this photograph that we just got from one of the mountain all sky cams the other day. Again, showing that orb, showing whatever is up in there, clearly being obfuscated, but with this little bit of photo magic, you can actually make out what's in there. And if you remember, our theory goes that they're actually using some type of a shielding system, either laser lighting system or other, to hide these objects. And this is from March. And this was the breakthrough that WSO had in this whole thing. So pretty interesting stuff here, and it's a very remarkable photograph, and that's exactly where I think this thing rotates around up in the sky. Hey, Steve Olson, WSO, checking out the, starting out with the newly discovered objects. If you'll remember, we're still tracking Q2 2017, but you can see that the lunar distances have been shrinking in terms of those newly discovered objects that are those who have been discovered in 2016 and 2017, which is the vast majority of the objects that we've discovered and that are on the NEO site. But here we are at the JPL NASA. I know it's like busy, right? But a couple of notable things. Today, April 24th, we've got 3 close approaches, and then we don't see that close of an approach again, apparently, until the 27th of April. Now, that changes every day. I mean, we could get a couple new ones any minute, right? And that is it in terms of what we got. But we've got 3 close approaches today. And I just wanted that to kind of be a heads up that, again, we're just seeing that closer approach of these different objects. Got you over here at the, it's a Space Weather Prediction Center of the National on NOAA. And as you can see, the prediction for high geospatial magnetosphere or magnetic activity is very high. This is a very critical phase we're in right now as that big coronal hole sweeps past the Earth. But you can see here that we're at the upper end of this scale. Normal or average would be around in the 0 range, but you can see that we're experiencing super high, right off the charts, bright red, and we know that it goes up to 745 kilometers per second, which is millions of miles an hour. We get that. Here's a look at the pressure, and again, that's looking at XY cut. So from the top, the equatorial sideways, and then from the top, meridional. And you can see that the pressure is extremely high. Then we go down here and we can see that this gives us a view of the magnetosphere's pressure on the magnetosphere, and then finally on how it looks on the Earth that way. So you got pressure, density, number 2, and number 1, velocity. So velocity is high, density is high, and pressure is high, which means space weather is wacky right now, and that's why a lot of these geomagnetic storms are going to cause power outages. It's just bound to happen because all of this friction causes charges to occur, electrical charges to occur. Those electrical charges then turn into overloads on our circuits. It's very simple, and the power actually inducts from the atmosphere into the power grid. And it's just something you got to start to expect and start to be ready for. Candles, ways to make fire, flashlights, stuff like that. Just have common sense. This is a pretty critical time right now, guys. Another way to look at this, okay? This is called the electron flux. Think of electrons, electricity, right? The way they express it is in volts. And what you can see is this particular scale again is off the charts, and this shows energy. Let's just think of it as energy in the space weather, energy that's out in the space weather, and you can see that scale, that exponential scale. Remember how we hit those peaks last week? Well, here we are. We're coming into another peak today as the sun rises, and it went right off the scale again at about 1645 Greenwich Mean Time. So again, this is another good thing to see how much energy is in the environment. It's time to build a Faraday cage. Guys, I got to show you this one, man. So I got this footage, and the gentleman was just trying to record the sunset, and it was around the sun. What he didn't see was this object right here, right? And as he kind of, plays around, looks at it, it is definitely something he saw, but then later on he made more film of it, and check out what it looks like close up, guys. What is that? Unbelievable. That is so cool. Again, we're seeing this orbs. We don't know what these things are, but it's a very consistent position now. Again, starting to become pretty plain. David Bowie. Just go watch David Bowie. So here's our basic forecast for the next couple of days in terms of sun activity and stuff. They showed it being a little bit low today, but I have a feeling that's going to go up like really fast today. So let's keep an eye on that together. Look at this incredible picture. There's our big halo. Oh my, doesn't that look amazing? Anyway, just wanted to remind you, our prices will be going up on April 30th. Get inside to the WSO Live Underground, become a member, at least register. Know where WSO Live is going to keep its videos to the public if YouTube shuts it down. And I hope you guys all have a good day. Thanks.
That's your cap.
Hi everybody, it's Steve Olson, WSO. Lots of stuff going on today, making some discoveries together. But if you guys were watching one of the videos I did today, you noticed that I was doing a study on this, this orb that shows up oftentimes with the sun when you're at the right latitude and the right timing. Now, one of the things that occurred to me about this object is that it could be a camera, okay? In addition to possibly being a brown dwarf, it could be a camera hanging out in space, projecting the sun. I don't know. But anyway, what I wanted to get into, though, was we did more study, and one of my subscribers got the guts to actually, after she saw what we had done here, to actually start doing some comparisons. Now, this is what we think they're trying to hide with this laser lighting system, okay? And we see this in Alaska all the time. I wanted to bring this out because whenever we see this orb, we also see a bright, usually a bright dot following the sun, like what you saw in the earlier videos today. Well, she started breaking these down from several different photographs that she took. And she wanted to point out, we always see a red orb behind the sun, especially when it goes from left to right. And we'll see the big orb, like I just showed you, the reflection of the orb. But we are all starting to think that this manifestation like this is actually a refraction of the actual object, which is running parallel to the sun, which makes us think this is a brown dwarf star. And we're seeing it, which is ugly as hell, isn't it? Anyway, so here's the study that she did. These are pictures she's taken from random, several of these things, wherever that red orb shows up. And look at these amazing pictures of what I think could be potentially either some kind of, I don't know yet. I think it's probably the brown dwarf. Who knows, right? These are simply frickin' amazing pictures that she has done with better photographic equipment than what I have. And she's able to bring out a lot of details here. And again, here's the sun over here to the right. In this picture, this would be from one of these Alaska Cam photographs. Here's another example. Wow, right? So it's like you can see that they're effectively blocking out the whole object itself, but we can see parts of it. And that's what I want you to see here, is we're seeing the same kind of a texture that we saw in the footage that I had today and the footage that we've seen previously with this, what we think they're trying to cover. So what do you guys think? Do you think that's a brown dwarf? What do you think? It's a projector? I think it's probably more likely some kind of a brown dwarf. That's just, you know what I mean? Let us know down here in the comment sections. Let's do a couple more things and I'll let you go. Before I let you guys go, don't forget to register for WSOLive.com. It's going to be our part of the Nibiru Underground network. And what? I'm trying to make a video. What do you mean? Who's it from? Oh, JRASS. What the hell does that mean, I wonder?